So we talked about Alt-X and we talked about X, but we haven't talked about Control-X. So let's say you're drawing a box and you quickly want to make it a knife. Well, pressing Control-X will convert it into a knife. Keep in mind that you could also draw a box and press, we'll press X and turn it back into a cut. You can also draw a box and press K to switch back and forth between knife and cut. Now the interesting thing to note is that when you press Control K, it switches your type over to knife box, which is something that might be negotiable upon request. However, at this time, whenever you press Control X, it does switch you over. However, we are able to press Control X in order to switch us back over, which gives us this very interesting result, I guess because we were hotlining on our conversion area. Something interesting happened there. Let's press Control X and X again. Let's see, Control X, X, and we implant it in a way. Control X, X, and we planted it and moved it. Control X. So in a way, we can actually place geometry and pretend what that geometry would be just by experimenting with the Control X function and click and apply. And this is exactly what we received here. In fact, to show that in action again, sometimes bugs can work out in your favor. So here we are drawing a box. We'll press Control X to convert that back into a knife. And we'll just scale that down and move it to this location. And let's say that we wanted to experiment with moving this particular solve around. We could press Control X and we see that the solve is now back to being dynamic as a knife. So we could just move it here and then press Control X to convert this back into a cut. And we're almost doing a knife and a cut at the same time, which is a very strange way to use BoxCutter. But as you can see here, it's something that's supported at this current time with the way that things are working, with the way that Edit Mesh and Refresh is working inside of BoxCutter. So I wanted to do a small segment talking about knife box and how we use it to basically create guidance edges in order to protect areas, because if you were to not have a guidance edge and you add a bevel, the results could be a little bit unpredictable. However, with the guidance edge, you're able to get very predictable results as long as we slap a weighted normal on it. We're able to get this all the way to the baker without very much issue.